This is the Retro Reload Thankstacular. This is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, 2015, and I'm your host, Dash V.
I'm T-Pugmire.
I'm Fighter Pilot, Jeremy.
All right, and the three of us, this show, want to kind of do something a little bit different, and by the little bit different, I'm going to actually open us up with a topic that may or may not be video game related. I'll leave that to you guys. The question that I want to throw out there is, Tyler, what are some things that you're particularly thankful for currently?
Just in life?
Just in general. It could be game related, could be non-game related. Just what are you thankful for?
I gotta say, like my family and my friends, and you guys. It's been great getting to know you guys.
Aw, shucks.
But most of all, my wife. I mean, she's great. Like, you guys have both met her. You know how good she is.
She is awesome.
I can't imagine my life any other way. So.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So, Red, you want to give us some? What are some things that you're thankful for, my friend?
Say like Tyler, friends, family, you guys, and most importantly, I'm playing Fallout 4.
There we go.
Thank you, Bethesda.
How many hours are you having to Fallout 4 so far, my friend?
Almost 100.
Almost 100. Wow. No exaggeration?
No exaggeration. I have 2 files, and yeah, almost 100 hours between the two.
So, what does 100 hours into Fallout 4 give you? Do you have Boku weapons, or have you unlocked a lot of stories and side missions, or what do you have
A lot
to
of
show for your
stories,
100
side
hours?
missions, a lot of cool weapons. There's 4 different ways to beat it, so now I beat it one way, gotta beat it the second, third, fourth way.
Nice.
But honestly, it's all relative. It's all like the time, but I got plenty of time on my hands.
So, well, I have to say personally, I am also thankful for friends and family and that kind of stuff, but I'm especially thankful for friends of mine that know I'm into retro gaming, and they know exactly how to utilize that. Check these out. I actually happened across a friend of mine. Him and his wife are moving up to Northern California, about 2.5 hours away. So it was kind of a bummer last Thursday. My wife and I had them over for dinner, and we kind of had like a last supper with them. Yeah. But what was kind of interesting is they had this little shopping bag, and they're like, okay, these aren't gifts, blah blah blah. But like, I found these on the curb, so in front of somebody's house, and I thought of you, and I'm like, oh man, this could go in so many directions, right? But like, he showed me 2 Super Nintendo games. One of them is Rock and Roll Racing by Interplay, which was one of the first SNES games to actually have licensed chiptune music in it, which is pretty cool. They got like Bad to the Bone and Born to Be Wild and things like that. But then he also had a copy of Super Mario World that he found. Now, I did already have the Super Mario World, but I graciously accepted anyway. I did not have Rock and Roll Racing, so it was quite dirty. It had like sticker residue and stuff on it. It looks like it had been a rental cart, but a little bit of Goo Gone and everything cleaned it right up. It looks pretty darn.
It's brand new.
Yeah, almost, right? I mean, that looks pretty good. The label's in pretty good shape. The back of it is, kind of, you can start to see like some of the dirt and everything that didn't quite come off. But overall, not bad. And that's not the only. Like, I've had friends that my copy of Spy Hunter. I had a friend give me a copy of Spy Hunter. So it's definitely it's good to be a gamer when your friends and family support it. So I was a little bit embarrassed this Sunday at church. A new fellow moved into our ward, and he's a computer science major, all this stuff. He's a younger guy, so like I throw out there, I'm like, PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, and he goes, what? I'm like, PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? He goes, oh, I don't game. And like literally half the freaking church like clapped and hollered at that, and I was like, it was,
That sucks.
yeah, I was just kind of like, and this is why, this is why we don't have young people here, right? So,
I'm
but
kind of
anyway,
surprised a computer science major doesn't game.
I,
Weird.
I was, well, that was why I mentioned it, right? Like, I was totally shocked that, like, a computer science major, most people back in the day, right? Like, my goodness, am I that guy? 20 years ago, 20 years ago when I was in college, as a freshman, everybody in class was in CS 101 because they were hoping to make video games. So, and
20
nowadays,
years later.
yeah, 20 years later, it's like, oh, what's a video game? I don't play video games. What's a PlayStation 1-4? What's an Xbox station? I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I have no use for you.
No, he's not one of those, what do you call it? Guys that play that really obscure game systems that you never heard of before.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Emerson Arcadia. The fine wine of... No, I'm just kidding. Nobody mentions Emerson Arcadia.
Those are too mainstream for him.
Right. So... But yeah, so I mean, I'm thankful for folks that certainly, gaming can't be one's entire life. But I'm thankful for those that understand that you can be an adult and be a gamer and still be a responsible adult. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're honey, am I a responsible adult?
Sometimes.
Okay, I was going to say, hopefully you couldn't hear her response because it wasn't 100% affirmative, but I'll take it. So, I'm still thankful for you. So, all right. In terms of video game stuff I'm thankful for, I'm very, very thankful for Rise of the Tomb Raider. There we go. I can never get this correct. Back there. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Which was just recently released for Xbox One.
Watch last week's episode, see on the unpacking or the unboxing.
Yes. Check out last episode for an unboxing. The box is gymongous. So my goodness. So if I had to give a game that I'm thankful for currently this year, this gen, I would say Rise of the Tomb Raider. Red, you'd say Fallout 4. T. Pugmire, any current gen games that you're thankful for that were just a pleasurable experience or that you're looking forward to?
Mario Maker.
Mario Maker still. That's the last thing I bought. That's all I've been playing.
Nice. That's a good game. I keep checking to see if there's new content, like between now and Christmas. Do you guys think that there'll be new surprise content, or you think they're gonna leave us holding the bag until?
I don't know. I mean, they've updated a little bit. I mean, they gave us some new levels just the other day. Last week,
I think we might get something for Christmas.
there was a new level that was out there, so it might.
Yeah.
I'm actually charging my gamepad right now because it died. Because I was going to play it before the show.
Yeah.
And my gamepad wasn't turned on. I was like, yeah, I got to charge it.
Oh, another thing I'm thankful for, I guess I have to say, right? Another thing I'm thankful for is 8-bit DO's awesome controllers. These things, if you've got a Retron 5, it's a game changer. If you do PC gaming, this is the way to do it. In an emulator or something like that. They have a Super Nintendo branded one too, but being a Nintendo child, this is the best. This is the real deal for me. So I'm just thankful that we live in a day and age where, like, if you can conceive of something like this, like an old school Nintendo controller that's Bluetooth and USB, like, it can exist. Somebody's made it. So, or you can buy the parts and make one yourself. Kind of a cool time to be alive. So, in terms of also Thanksgiving related, I wanted to ask you guys what your thoughts are on Black Friday. And it's ever creeping into. Now I'm seeing Black Friday deals are going live as early as, like, for some stores, like 3 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. That's kind of insane to me.
I saw some hit on Monday. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I
So
follow
what
a
are-
website and they post the ones that go live, and they started Monday. I was like, damn.
So what are your thoughts on that in general? Everybody said that they're thankful for their family and their friends and all that. Like how do you? I don't know. To me, like Black Friday seems to like come to odds with the whole. If family and friends are what's important, then shouldn't you be spending time with them, not rushing out to like buy more
Punching the
stuff
guy
to
next
clutter
to you
your.
trying to grab that TV.
Yeah, trying to buy more stuff to clutter your house. What are your thoughts on that, Red?
Well, first of all, I will personally go out to the crowds because I don't think it's worth it. But I will order it online because it takes me like 5 minutes to order online. But yeah, I don't get it. It's like some of those guys sit out there 2 days, in the sleeping bag waiting for the number one deal.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like really like you could probably got to work and made money, and you could have probably bought the item.
In some places, from what I understand, like a lot of malls, it's written into the lease that you will be open on Black Friday, and they'll even write into the lease like what time like your store has to be open and what the
I
latest
didn't know that. That's crazy.
close. Yeah, there's a lot of retail chains that you don't really have a choice. If you lease that space in that building, then your lease requires you to be open for a certain amount of time during Black Friday, or they can actually evict you if you're in breach.
Only during Black Friday, or is this other things too?
I'm not. There might be other dates as well, but I do know there are provisions in a lot of leases for Black Friday specifically.
I was just thinking because I know this is a totally different thing, but I know we have a Chick-fil-A in the mall here, and they're not open on Sundays. And true to their word, they're not that store in the mall is not open on Sundays.
Yeah. Well, I think if I was out Black Friday or I was out on Sunday, right? I don't shop on Sundays because I'm Mormon, but if I was shopping, any day, and I found that Chick-fil-A was closed that day, I would not. It would not rock my world. I would find some way to survive and soldier on.
No, I just didn't know
if
about
Best Buy was closed, I'd be like, what the hell is this shit? I want to talk to the regional manager right now.
I'm sure they come in agreement beforehand, like, well, we're going to be closed on Sunday, so deal with it. And they go, okay.
Yeah, and I think, too, like, Utah, I think, is kind of like an interesting little, Utah's got a lot of interesting, like, loopholes and law for things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think in Utah, isn't it also law that, like, you can't have a certain amount of beer unless you get a certain amount of food with it?
That I don't know.
I think like if you
like
go
in
to
a
a
restaurant?
bar or something.
Yeah, I think you have to. I don't know. I don't drink that much. It's ever been a problem, I guess. But yeah, I'm not really sure.
Retro Reload encourages you to drink responsibly, whether in Utah or someplace else.
I never heard that before.
Just whatever you do, don't try to go to a Chick-fil-A on Sunday. Not happening. Although you've got me curious now, like I want to stop by, like not to buy anything, but just to see if I wonder if they're open out here on Sundays.
What, Chick-fil-A?
Is that like-
No, all of them
Is that like a Chick-fil-A thing, like worldwide? They're like,
it is. It's like corporate.
Because
policy.
they're closed here too. My area. They're closed on Sundays.
wow,
Because it's a Christian owned.
I had no idea. That's very, very fascinating.
So their employees can go to church.
Ah, okay. Oh, you know what? That makes sense now too, because I think I heard of other policies that they have that are not quite too popular.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll go into that.
Okay. That. All right. It's all
coming together.
It's all coming together now. It's all coming together. What are your thoughts, Tyler, on Black Friday?
I've never really done it. I mean, like when I was a kid, my mom would go, and I'd go with her once in a while, because I wasn't in school. But I mean, as an adult, I mean, I've done it once. It was to buy a computer years and years ago. I don't know. I found that like most of the deals on the stuff that I'm interested in aren't that great, really. I mean, once in a while there'd be some great deal. Like there is one deal this year. I think I mentioned it last episode that I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go to Target and try to get these couple DS games that are half off. But I'm like, is it worth it? To save $30?
I don't think so with the crowds. Personally,
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I mean, so I don't know.
Can you order online?
I'm fine. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it yet. But I'm fine either way. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I shared a bit of this already, but like for me personally, I went just like Tyler. I went to like one Black Friday thing because I don't even remember why. There was like some deal or something I thought I was gonna get, and so like I go there and basically, and this is back east. So back east, I go to a store that's normally like 10 minutes away, and there was like this one long stretch that was called Commercial Drive, and then it's like nothing but like stores and everything. This place that's normally like 5-10 minutes away, it took me 45 minutes to get into the parking lot. It took me another half hour to find a place to park. In this 45 minutes plus half hour, right, I managed to get flipped off like 3 times, almost got into an accident 4 times, right, and had like 7 spots that I'm sitting right there with my blinker on to turn into, get immediately sniped by me from somebody on the other side, like the second the person pulled out of the spot. And that's how I, like, all those, like, almost accidents were, like, me just trying to park my freaking car. So it was very stressful. And then, like, I get into the store, and of course, like, you know, I think it was for a Wii. I was trying to get, like a Wii or something. And, yeah, of course they have none. The store got, like, 2 of them. Right, and they were already, like, they were long gone before the store had even opened, I think. So it was, like, totally not worth it to me. I look at some of the deals and stuff, like, a lot of times, like, they're not going to take, like, the best, most fabulous television that they have and bundle it with, like, the best, like, version of the Xbox that they have. They're going to be like, oh, here's a bunch of the leftover crap from when it launched, the ones that overheat or slow and, you know, have all these other issues. Let's pair it with this crappy TV that we have overstocked because, you know, it crashes, you know, and the audio and video is out of sync, you know, after 1 hour into the movie. And, like, let's bundle those 2 together. Right? Like, usually is what it is. Not all the time. Sometimes there'll be, like, a fantastic thing. But usually if there is a fantastic thing, it's like a doorbuster. It's like Red was saying. Like, you camp outside of the place, like, a day and a half in advance, and then they hand out tickets, right? And then you have to try to not get trampled on and try to not trample someone else in order to get to the 2 TVs that they have that are worth a damn in, like, the whole store for the bargain. Or I could just do what Red does. I can go online and order that crap. And at least if it's, like, sold out, I find out because I go to the page, it doesn't load, and I'm like, screw that, and I walk away. Like, there's no, like...
That's how I got my PS4. I sat at home last year, it went live, I nailed one, and a week later it was at my house.
Yeah, and especially like with the free shipping deals and all other stuff, like it doesn't make sense. My suggestion to people in general would be if you're going to do Black Friday stuff, right, ain't nothing wrong with wanting to get a deal. But, you know, spend the extra time with your family and maybe do some browsing with the Amazon app, you know, maybe go to blackfriday.com and, you know, sites like that and see what the deals are, you know, ahead of time and pull the trigger on the ones that you want. But the other thing, I guess, that I don't like about Black Friday is since most of the stuff I'd want to get a deal on is tech-related, I obsess over tech. Like, if I'm going to spend more than, like, $50 on it, I want to know, like, what is the best version of this thing, the most solid, the most power conscientious, best performing, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, Black Friday is pretty much all about the impulse buy, right? You go and it looks like a great deal, you grab it, you bring it home, and you find out, oh, this is crap, this isn't the one that I thought it was. Or you find out, like, you know, oh, okay, yeah, like, at the end of the day, like, this is what it normally costs, right? Like, I didn't get a deal at all. This is, like, what it's supposed to cost.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you have to go and, you know, camp out and all this other stuff, which I've never done, but, I mean, your time is worth something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't have, like the highest paying job ever, but I mean, if I have to spend, you know, 4 hours on a line, that's a pretty good chunk of change that I could have made just working, you know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I tend to think that way, but, you know, it occurs to me, right, just to make sure both sides, like, what's kind of a bummer this show is, like, we don't have somebody kind of playing the other side, so I'm going to...
Well, I can do it because I'm always poor.
I'm gonna do. Let's do a little bit of Red, you and me. Let's do a little bit of play the other side for a second, right? Like.
Okay,
So,
well, I'm a minimum wage employee working at a supermarket. I make $8 an hour, and
yeah. Well, not even just that, but like, I mean, so there's definitely that, right? Like, hey, like, gotta make every dollar count, right? Like,
yeah,
maybe you don't have the option of just work a couple more hours, make a couple more bucks, right? It may not be that simple. So you really need that deal. It could be the difference between, your family gets an Xbox One or they don't.
yeah, for the holidays.
Like at all. So the other thing too, I guess I was thinking is that that's my son. So he got that from me. Like you play the doorbell, like makes the inside of the house sound like a pinball machine.
That's awesome.
Anyway, back on topic. You could have it where like the pursuit of the deal. Right? Like if I'm into video games, right? Even though like I'm playing a lot of Bravely Default lately. And playing Bravely Default, I'm finding out halfway through the game turns into like do a hell of a lot of grinding to conquer the same crap that you already conquered. I still love the game, by the way, but I'm basically playing like literally for hours, and I'm doing it like like waiting for my son to practice to like finish up his karate practice or something, or it's like sitting at home like waiting for my son to get ready for bed so that my wife and I can spend some time together, and so I'll just like kill like an hour here, a half hour there. And for some people that would be like, oh, that's a waste of time. Like all this time you could be doing something productive, like finding creative ways to save money, or like for them, it may be like sitting in line at the store is just as fun and adventurous, and the thought of like, will I get the deal, won't I get the deal,
I can
could
see
be
that.
just
Yeah.
as much of an adrenaline rush, right? And just as exciting as leveling up that character enough levels to finally beat that boss.
Like there's certain hoarders that are addicted to waiting for the package to come. And if you see a lot of hoarders that are addicted to that, like, oh, they like to shop online, wait for the package, and
Yeah.
that's their thrill.
Yeah. Just like, one could say, like thrifting, right? Like, on the one hand, like, I won't sit in line, right, and go camping, out for a deal on an Xbox One, but, like, every now and then, I'll kill 20 minutes stopping at a thrift store that's a little bit out of my way just to see what might be there.
Yeah.
Even though most of the time there's nothing there that I care about. But that one time there might be, like, a game guide or a Nintendo cartridge or something that I'm interested in. So I'll give it to folks that like Black Friday or into the Black Friday thing, rock on. But me personally, it's not my thing.
Yeah. By the way, Dash, I found out Utah law you're talking about.
You found what?
The Utah booze law.
Oh yes, share us the booze law. This one's
On
interesting.
March 8th, 2013, the Utah legislature passed a law allowing restaurant patrons to order alcohol before ordering food, after a controversial series of citations was issued to several restaurants. So I guess you couldn't order booze before food at restaurants.
Yeah, and it had to be a certain time. And it had to be a certain amount of food.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But now it's not law anymore.
There's actually like a weight thing. So yeah, Utah is home to some really interesting laws.
That's one way to put it.
It's very, I think, conservative there.
Yeah. Just
just a smidge.
The more interesting ones is down south in the dry counties, and the way they do it sometimes.
Huh.
Some it's completely outlawed. Other places you can't buy it on Sundays till noon. So I guess you gotta go to church before you get drunk. Oh, this is some of the places down there.
Well, like I can imagine morning church must be very, like you've got that one guy that like goes through line like 5 times to just keep taking shots. Hey, wait a minute, like the blood of Christ. I've seen you like 7 times in this line, dude. Like,
that's my brother.
Dude, I have to cut you off, right? You haven't even paid your tab from last Sunday. All right, but this is Retro Reload, folks. You learn something new Learn something new every day, right? Like you have to have a sense of humor, I think. Even if you're a rather conservative fellow, you have some sense of humor about you, right?
2 weeks ago, was a guy jerking off to PlayStation. This week it's alcohol laws.
This week it's weird alcohol laws in crazy places. Like in New York, right? I gotta look this up now to see, right? I think somebody told me, right? Ice cream cone in back pocket law.
I've heard that, actually.
In Kentucky, it's illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket.
Do cops actively look for this law breaking?
Yeah. So let me see here. There's actually if you go to, we're way off topic, but we're going to go with it. If you go to www.dumblaws.com.
I love that website.
I'm going to, let's see about some dumb laws in New York. My old home there.
Well, it's New York. It's going to have a lot of dumb ones.
Let's see.
See, the bigger states have the stupidest ones.
All right. It is against the law to throw a ball at someone's head for fun. Wow. Me and my sisters should have been arrested so many times.
Yeah, like you can't play dodgeball. Nothing.
Wow. The penalty for jumping off a building is death.
Any building?
I think that kind of goes without saying.
I got one for San Jose.
Depends on the building.
What's the one for San Jose, my
Which
friend?
is popular in California. It's illegal for grocery stores to provide plastic bags.
Oh yes,
That's
one.
big in California, though.
Did I tell you my encounter, like my first encounter with that law?
No.
All right, we're way off topic. I don't know if there's any. Do you want to hear the story, or should we get back on topic?
We can go to the story, then we can talk about the birthdays
Okay.
of certain systems.
All right, sweet. Yeah, we do have some systems that are coming up on birthdays, but hang out for that one. So like, the no shopping bags in San Jose. So I moved from 3 years ago. I moved from Central New York to San Jose, and so what's important to note is that like the day that we flew over. So here's how the whole thing like worked out. Like a week in advance, because I was moving with a company and all this other stuff, and so they sent movers in, and a week before I move out to California, they take all my possessions, everything. Bed, cars, like literally everything. I had to borrow a car from a friend of mine, and I had to stay in his house with my family for like the week up till our flight, because they just took everything, put it in a box, put it in these shipping things, and started moving them across the country, which was going to take like 2 weeks, right? So a week into them having my stuff, I hop on a flight, and we end up going from here to I think it was Detroit, and our flight gets grounded in Detroit due to like massive lightning storms. So me, my wife, my son, and our 3 cats, did we have 3 cats at the time? Our 3 cats, right, are sleeping on the floor of the Detroit airport as we wait until the next day for our, for our
Flight.
new flight to get us to where we need to get. So the next day, like, we barely slept, right? Because it's an airport. There's constantly like monitors blaring and people walking by, and you're worried about getting jacked and all this other stuff, right? But even though nobody's allowed to like go in there with, anything that could possibly hurt somebody. So, but anyway, so you don't get any sleep. We're like totally dragging. We fly all the rest of the way out. We get in here, right? We get to San Francisco, which is an hour from San Jose in traffic. So we arrive at San Francisco. It's now a day late, so we missed the day we were supposed to check in and get our rental car, which means our rental car is gone, right? We missed the day that we were supposed to like get the keys to the apartment and all this other stuff. So anyway, we get to the Hertz place. They thankfully set us up with another car, but it's a different kind of car. But so we get the car, we hop in. It's like almost midnight, because the flight was like super late and the time zone difference and all that stuff. So like we end up getting in like near midnight. We drive to San Jose. We get to our apartment, which thankfully we had a really awesome realtor who like helped us out, hooked us up with the key and all this other stuff. We get into the apartment and you know, we literally have like next to nothing. We have some cereal and some paper bowls and like spoons and some fresh fruit that the realtor got for us because again, she's awesome. She set up air mattresses and everything, so we're sleeping on the air mattresses. We get up the next morning and we go to get a shower and there's like no hot water. Like literally none. Like no, you turn it on full blast, there's like nothing coming out of the faucet. What the hell? So I go down into the kitchen, I'm having my breakfast, and I notice my feet are wet. And I look on the carpet, and there's these little like you could see like soak footprints like everywhere I'd walked. Like the whole carpet's like saturated with water underneath. And so I go and I look outside to where the hot water heater is. The hot water heater in our new apartment had like burst and flooded the entire downstairs of the apartment, which is why we didn't have any freaking hot water. So I'm like, oh. So we call the landlord, and the landlord says, all right, we'll send somebody out, right? Blah, blah, blah. So they send them out. And oh, by the way, other than the air mattresses, keep in mind, all we have is the clothing that was in our suitcases. We didn't have any, oh, I forgot this part. We didn't actually have any soap or shampoo or anything because when we went to check our bags weighed too much. So they said, oh, no problem. These bags weigh too much, but these other bags are no problem. So how about you take these bags with you on the plane, and you take these and we'll check the other bags. I'm not really thinking. I'm like, okay, like I'm going to save myself $50 for an overage thing, whatever. So I swap the bags and we do it. What I'd forgotten was what we packed in the checked luggage was all the shit you can't get through security. So we go through security and they're like, oh, soap can't take this. Oh, you know, toothpaste can't take. No, you know, like they literally like it's like an Armageddon when they're just like rifling all this stuff out the side of the thing, right? And they're like, oh, this looks like about $20, right? And they're like, so basically all this crap just gets emptied out of our suitcases at the airport, and then like, had I emptied all that stuff out anyway, we could have easily checked those bags. So we have no soap, we have no toothpaste, nothing, and no hot water. So okay, whatever. The plumber's coming out. He's gonna fix the hot water tank, get the hot water up and working, dry out the bottom, you know, floor, and then while that's happening, we're gonna go to Walmart. So we go to Walmart. Right, I'm rounding the third base now. We're almost to the end of the story. So I go to Walmart, right, and keep in mind this only happened in like 2-3 days, right? All this happens in like 3 days. So we're at Walmart, and I don't have a belt either, right? Because they made me take off my belt at the airport, and I forgot my belt at the airport. So the whole time I've been walking around like holding up my pants. Right? Because my pants were kind of loose. But anyway, so I'm holding my pants. We're walking through Walmart, and I'm like, well, the first thing I'm going to get is I'm going to get me a belt, right? So I buy a belt. The belt's like $12.50. This is important. Note that, $12.50 with the belt. So I buy the belt, I put on the belt, and now we go through Walmart, and we're actually shopping, right? So we do all of our shopping, the grocery shopping. It comes to $125.00. Like, perfect. So I give him my card. Rejected.
Oh.
I'm like, swipe it again. It's rejected, right? Like, my wife tries to swipe it at the time. The way our cards worked, even though we both had a card, it was tied to the same account, so we both had the same number. So hers doesn't work either. So I'm like, oh, right? And there's this huge, and it's San Jose, right? So we did our shopping, and we had to stand in line twice. The first time I'm standing in line for 20 minutes holding my pants up. The second time I'm standing in line for 20 minutes only to find out my card's going to get rejected. So then we have to go off to the side. I pull open the cell phone. I call the company, and they're like, oh, Mr. Vincelette, like, we found fraud on your account. Like, what kind of fraud? Well, first, you know, we saw charges in New York, and then Detroit, and then San Francisco, and they rented a car, and then next thing you know, like, they're at a Walmart, and I'm like, that's me! did you not notice? I went to the airport, and then I was at another airport, and then another airport, and then a rental place. I'm like, what like, person
At least they're on
feels...
top of it.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I guess, but like,
They could have
nobody
called
ever
you.
travels?
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I'm not that bad, but I actually got called because I went out of town. They called and like, hey, are you wherever the hell it is you are? I said, well, yeah, okay. We have weird,
So yeah,
weird
so they
times.
shut down. It happens, right? And it happens to me all the time. Like anytime I travel somewhere now, like yeah, we'd mentioned that we were moving. There was a note on our account. They're like, oh, yeah, there's a note on your account. Sorry, we're bad. So they reactivate our card, right? And so but then I have to get back in line, right? And I'm back at the end of line. I wait another 20 minutes, right? So there's been like an hour and a half now of just standing in line at Walmart in one day. So, like, finally, like, I get there. She rings up all of our stuff, 125 even. Card doesn't work again. Right? I'm like, what the heck? So I call back, I wait online, I get through, like, oh, Mr. Vincelette, like, after the fraud detection, you won't guess what happened. Like, whoever tried to charge your card previously for $12.50 accidentally put the charge in twice. The first time they tried to charge $12.50, the second time they tried to charge $125.00. I go, the first time I bought a belt. The second time I bought groceries and soap. For the love of God, please. Leave my card alone. So they reactivate the card. I go back in the line again. This is the fourth time, right? I'm back in line again at Walmart, right? And so finally, like, I wait another 20 minutes. I get to her. I hand her the card, and I'm like, I promise this time it's gotta work, right? She swipes the card. Hallelujah, praise the Lord, right? It works. And then the bag boy goes, bags? I'm like, yeah, please. And I'm wondering the whole time, like, this is the laziest bag boy of all time. Like, why the hell isn't he bagging this crap, like, while it's coming through the thing? And he's just like, bags. And I'm like, yes, please. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, just pretend I have no idea what the hell you're getting at. Like, why can't you just put this in bags? And the guy behind me goes, you must be new here. I'm like, yeah. He goes, in San Jose, in Santa Clara County, it's illegal for them to give you bags. And since you didn't buy bags with your purchase, they're expecting you to, like, present them with bags to put your stuff in. And I'm like...
Yeah, it's big out here.
So I just hold my shirt out, and I'm like, just fuck it. Just dump it all in the shirt. Can I please just go home and, like, get a shower? So they put all this stuff in my in the shirt. We take it home. The hot water tank is fixed. We get the shower, but that was literally like our first day and a half in California. So
I would love to have
first
a second
encounter with one of the stupidest laws on the books in Santa Clara County.
So far, it hasn't hit here yet. It's just citywide, certain cities.
So.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, oh man, did I hear about it. It was the icing on the top of a crap cake.
So, Tyler, who turned 25 this year? Recently.
This is on the 21st of November. The Super Famicom turned 25.
Oh!
Yes, and the Super Nintendo, as we know it here, is next year. I don't know when. I don't know what day, but...
Doesn't matter. It was the American version. Nobody cared.
And 360 turned 10 years old, according to Zachary.
Nice. 360, 10 years old. You know, it seems, I guess that's about right, but that's pretty impressive that 360 and PlayStation 3 are around 9, 10 years old each.
It doesn't seem like long ago they released, but yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. So...
I find it kind of odd that, like, you go from having the 25-year from Super Famicom to 10. That's only 15 years difference between.
It's amazing how far it came.
That seems like a huge amount of technology and time had, but for only 15 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
November 22nd. Yeah.
You know, I guess I'm very thankful for gaming, for the state of computing being where it's at. Because I think if you look at and this might end up stalling out after this generation with gaming too. But I mean, if you really look at technology in general, like the PC, is kind of like topped out. I mean, it's really only been incremental updates for the last 5 years. I've got a machine I built 5 years ago to do high definition video editing, and I could spend $3,000 and have a machine that's only 5% better than the one I have now. So versus, like you said, like if I take a look at the PlayStation 4 and I compare those graphics to PlayStation 3 and compare that to PlayStation 2 and 1, I mean it's like a quantum leap. Versus in the last 20 years, somehow my system's still only barely fast enough to run Microsoft Office and Windows. So, but who knew? I mean, word processors used to run in MS-DOS with no problem.
I remember those days.
On a 286, right?
I used to remember the MS-DOS games and all that. That was always fun.
Yes. I'm very thankful for VirtualBox, and I'm thankful for DOSBox. Have you guys played any games through DOSBox?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's really, really great. I think GOG, a lot of the games you can get through GOG run through DOSBox. So some real good gems, games that you'll never see necessarily re-released. So
that's what I miss with those really old PC games. Like, you'll never see them again.
Yeah, games like some of the games will name drop. Any of you guys play One Must Fall?
No.
That was an awesome game. It came out around the time when Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were really popular. Rob Elam of Epic Mega Games, they were called at the time. It was a side-scrolling fighter, and you could customize your robots and buy extra speed and agility and moves and stuff. There was like 16, I think, different robot types, and you fought in this big arena with different hazards and stuff. It kind of was a precursor to what like eventual games like Dead or Alive and everything would ultimately be, with like the interactive environments where the environments could actually damage the opponents and stuff like that. So that was a really cool game. It was one of those you could get a couple. You get them. Remember, you can get shareware on like a single disc, and then it'd give you like a taste of the game, and then you get the full-blown game. Blake Stone was another one. It was kind of like a souped-up Wolfenstein. Better graphics, better sound, super fun game. Let's see, what other games were there? There were some epic pinball games that were pretty good.
I was really young, so I don't remember most of these.
So
I just remember playing like Doom and Dark Forces and things like that.
Doom was definitely pretty awesome. I remember when Rebel Assault, right?
Yeah, Rebel Assault.
Rebel Assault was like, wow, it looks so real. that was pretty good. So, and now, like when you look at a game like Rebel Assault, right, which had amazing graphics for the time, but the interactivity, I mean, really, it was an on-rail shooter. It was spectacularly done on-rail shooter, but still an on-rail shooter. And then you look at like Star Wars Battlefront, which just came out last week, and it's like amazing, like absolutely quantum leap.
Well, I remember playing 64, and it's like, oh my god, it looks just like James Bond, or look how cool Link looks. It's amazing, and now it's not that long ago either.
Yeah, I remember being impressed, when in Mortal Kombat, it's like, wow, they actually talk. Get over here.
Yeah, the first time I ever heard like real speech in a game, I was blown away. It was just, oh my god, what has happened? Yeah, and now it's like, nobody cares.
So I just noticed a really interesting law that I wasn't aware was a law. Apparently in New York, women may go topless in public, provided it is not being used as a business.
Interesting.
Provided what's not being used as a business.
Yeah. Citizens may not greet each other by putting one's thumb to the nose and wiggling the fingers.
Here's one in California. No vehicle without a driver may exceed 60 miles per hour.
Now, they're going to have to revisit that law with the Google car and the Tesla.
Women may not drive in a house coat.
See, in New York City, during a concert, it is illegal to eat peanuts and walk backwards on the sidewalks.
What was going on that week when they decided we need to pass this law?
I don't know, but in Fulton, New York, it's illegal to put a giant sign that says "Fashion Bug sucks" on your car and drive it around town. And I actually know the story behind that one. But we might be storied out for this episode.
In Utah, it is considered an offense to hunt whales. Now Utah had whales.
There was 2 whales, I think. Yeah. A long, boring story, but in the early days of Salt Lake City, we have the Great Salt Lake, and some businessman decided it would be a good idea to put whales in the Great Salt Lake for tourists. Well, it didn't work. They died. I think they died. And that was it. So you can't hunt whales in Utah.
Okay, here's one. A husband is responsible for every criminal act committed by his wife while she is in his presence. So.
Wow.
That's we wired that one, Tyler.
That's pretty interesting. So, I think I'll end us with a topic, since we began with Black Friday and things that we're thankful for. If folks are, something to be thankful for is if folks are planning to do some Black Friday shopping, there are plenty of deals now out there where you can pick up $2.99 Xbox Ones with, some bundle a controller, some bundle a game or 2 games. A lot of them, things to look out for if you're into physical stuff. A lot of the game bundles I was noticing are bundling digital versions of the game.
That's how I got my PS4. It was bulking into digital.
Yeah, so if you're looking for something to have in your hands and hold, GameStop is doing, right now this whole month actually, if you buy an Xbox One, you can pick any game up to $59.99 for free that they have in stock. So if you're looking to get a physical game in addition to your Xbox One, you could go to GameStop, get a bundle, which will probably come with some digital game or 2, which then you can also pick a physical game off their shelf and take it home. What's really cool, though, is just recently announced, Sony is going to be matching the Xbox One price with $299 priced PlayStation 4s over this Black Friday weekend. From what I'm reading here, what's really cool is there's going to be a PlayStation 4 bundled with Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection for $299, which is actually pretty darn. That's a pretty sweet deal to get all the Uncharted games for and a PlayStation 4 for that amount. That's going to be from November 26th through Cyber Monday, so November 26th through the 30th. So as long as those remain in stock, apparently all online and brick-and-mortar retailers will have it. It is possible that you could see further deals. So if you go to your GameStop, you might be able to pick up one of these bundles and still take a game off the shelf. If they do something similar for PlayStation 4 or what they're doing for Xbox One, you'll want to check with them to see what exactly they're doing. But the base deal is still pretty sweet. $299, you get the Drake Uncharted collection, so that's pretty sweet. So that's also the lowest official price that the PlayStation 4 has ever been.
Do you know what size hard drive it has?
500.
I'm guessing it's going to be 500. I'm going to click on it right now.
I only asked because I got an email from GameStop today, actually, about the 500 gig Star Wars Battlefront bundle for $350.
I have 500 gig, and it does pretty well.
Let me see.
I'm 90% sure it's 500.
Let me see. The bundle includes a 500 gigabyte PS4 system and the single-player campaigns for Uncharted: Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2: Among Thieves, Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. So, um,
Yeah, the one I'm looking at is $350. It has Battlefront, and it has four other Star Wars games.
I say do it, Tyler.
yeah.
I don't
Now,
have.
what's
I have
really
you know.
interesting. So, this is what's really interesting is if you get there's a Star Wars Battlefront. I don't remember exactly what they call it, but it's more of like a collector's edition, limited edition type thing. It's not the stock Battlefront version. It's the one with the goodies. There's actually 2 or 3 games on there that are actually emulated PlayStation 2 games.
That's what this is. That's what. Yeah.
So yeah, so what's really interesting about that, if you want to be thankful about something, it looks like PlayStation 2 emulation is finally finding a home on a PlayStation console past, the backward compatible PlayStation 3s. Now, unfortunately, in this case, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, these are like I don't want to say doctored, but these are bundled games. So Sony specifically took these games, and put a wrapper around it and is reselling them. But it's totally possible that I don't think that we'll see general purpose emulation come out. That doesn't tend to be Sony's style anymore.
No.
Although maybe with the Xbox One now being backward compatible officially, maybe that'll force Sony's hand. We'll see. But I think at least what we'll see is hopefully a trickle of more PlayStation 2 titles available on the PSN to people who maybe didn't get a chance to handle them. And what was cool to see is, from everything I read, the 3 games that were bundled in were kind of like abysmal to mediocre titles when they came out on the PlayStation 2. They suffered, I guess, graphical issues and performance issues because they were trying to push the PlayStation 2 harder than it could. On the PlayStation 4, these supposedly have been significantly up-resed, and the frame rates the limiters have been removed, so a lot of these games are pushing 60 frames a second, twice the frame rate that they attempted to achieve on the PlayStation 2. So the games are actually, some pretty decent gaming. So if you're going to charge me for something that I already paid for, previously, or maybe already experienced previously, the fact that you're going to provide it to me better than I remembered it, and as a supplement to something new that I want to buy, that's actually pretty cool. I'm really behind that, using emulation in that way for those purposes.
Well, yeah, because the games are Racer's Revenge, and Bounty Hunter, and Jedi Starfighter. And Racer's Revenge was kind of a crap game. Bounty Hunter was fun, and so was Jedi Starfighter. The interesting thing also is there's also the fourth game is actually a Super Nintendo game. It's the Super Star Wars.
Nice. Oh, wow. I didn't know Super Star Wars was one of them. That's
Yeah.
really actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how that looks.
Yeah. So, folks, whether you plan to do it online or whether you plan to do brick and mortar, it sounds like now is the time to get a PlayStation 4. That sounds like a hell of a bundle. If you do decide to wait around for a better deal, I'm going to warn you, you may not find one. And also warn you that in this day and age, deals like that go quick. Don't be surprised if, even though it's running 26th to 30th, they could be gone by the 27th. So if you're looking to get one, you're not going to brave the traffic to go to the store. Try to find the deal online. Sounds like you'll be able to hit up Amazon and other venues for it. So Xbox One, I think personally I'm going to wait. I want to get the Elite Edition. So, but GameStop got them early. They got them in November. But every GameStop here in the Bay Area is completely sold out. So now I have to wait for the second batch. Looks like I'll be probably picking one up from Best Buy next week.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, we'll find out. We'll find out what happens. Fighter Pilot, I understand you sacrificed. In true Fighter Pilot fashion, you took one for the greater good. You will not be getting an Xbox One. Is that true?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I decided to do something nice this time of year, instead of being selfish.
Yeah.
And it pained me because I was thinking about it. I was like, should I just be selfish? Like, no, I can't do that. I'm still thinking about it.
Well, it sounds like the individual that you're trying to help out helped you get Fallout 4 with your Pip-Boy. So
Yeah, so I kind of gotta do it.
yeah, it sounds like good karma aside, right? You might be able to take the karma hit, but if there's a Fallout 5 with something even better down the horizon, don't be surprised if the karma comes back to bite you if you make the wrong choice.
That's a good point.
So, folks, however you choose to spend your Thanksgiving, we hope that you have a good one. I don't believe there's going to be a show on Thursday. Is that true?
I doubt it. They haven't said
Yeah,
anything.
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe.
So most likely, no show Thursday, guys. Tune in next Tuesday. I believe that there still will be a show. Some of our attendance might be hit and miss throughout December, as it is the Christmas season. So some of our
Miss you, Tyler.
faces.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, you may not see Tyler's wonderful red mug, but if we have some good content leading up, one of these what I was actually thinking of doing was I was thinking of for one of the shows I have to talk to Mighty Rabbit Studios, make sure they're cool with it. I've talked about Saturday Morning RPG.
Mhm.
There's a Christmas episode that they released a couple years ago that is fantastic. So I was thinking maybe, just maybe, I'll play through the Christmas episode on a show.
Sounds like a good idea.
So,
So they're probably only us two.
yes, that's the last thing I might as well throw out there. This week, let me find out when it is. Bye-bye, dumb laws. Last Run Games, I think.
Limited runs.
Limited Run, thank you. Limited Run Games is selling.
Excuse me.
Oh, come on. Why can't I? You think I would find a... here we go. Limited Run Games is doing... There's only going to be 1,980 of these. Because 1980 and... it's like a thing. So there's going to be 1,980 copies worldwide, region-free, of Saturday Morning RPG for the PlayStation 4. I fully intend to get one of these. Ooh, wait, what is this? Oh, it changed. What?
What happened?
Oh, man, was it today? I think I already missed it.
That sucks.
Shit, I think it was today and I missed it. Because now they're showing limited run number 2. And it's January 15th, 2016. I think I already missed my chance to get it.
Way to go.
I'm very sad. Or no, wait. No. Product is coming soon. Available for sale January 15th. Okay. This looks like it was supposed to be available. Looks like it just got pushed back. Maybe there was an issue with the initial batch or something. Limited run number 1 was Breach and Clear, which is already sold out. Breach and Clear went on sale a while ago, actually, and sold out, I think, within the first day. Saturday Morning RPG was slated for release this week, actually, and it looks like that got pushed back to January 2015. Sad face. All right, so folks, get yourself a PlayStation 4. Best deal ever. So this has been Retro Reload. Some form of us will see you next Tuesday. Have a good one.